Hello and welcome to Trash to Track. Now, no, we're not doing cake reviews. In this Mr. Kipling box, I've got the parts, or hopefully all the parts, to a Bachmann 04 shunter. Now, this came in a collection, I think, that my dad picked up, and it was in this disassembled state. And as you could tell by the box, this was a Jubilee edition cake for the Queen's 70th, and I think that was in 2022. So I've had this in my desk drawer for about 6 years waiting to be done up, and I found it the other day along with that detail pack there, and I thought I'm going to get it out and see if I can restore it. Now I've got all the bits out of that cake box and we're going to go through and see what's missing. So looking through all the bits and pieces, there should be 3 split chassis separators, 3 plastic lugs, 2 couplings, etc. And I'll go through and see what's missing. And out of everything, considering how long it's been dumped in that box, and God knows how long it was since the previous owner disassembled it, I'm only missing 1 spacer and a screw. Now, the model is already DCC fitted with a TCS decoder and the motor's been insulated. As I said, when my dad picked the collection up, this model was already disassembled. So I've never actually seen this running. I took it on and I thought I'd get around to it someday, and that day is today. So it doesn't look like it's had a bad job done to it. The axles are araldited together, but all the bits now, we've got a pile of bits, so we're missing 1 separator and 1 plastic washer and a couple of screws, so I'm sure I've got them in my spares somewhere. Now I'm going to test this motor. Now these are TCS decoders, which I know can run on DC. I've had a lot of experience with TCS decoders, and applying a battery proves that the motor works. So that's good, because the motor works and so does the DCC chip. So I'm going to start by having a look at the detail pack. Now I've had this for years. I don't know, I must have had an 04 at some point, but I knew I had it. It took a bit of finding. There's a little note there from Bachmann, but I found it in amongst my steam detail parts. I'm not sure why it was there, but I found it and I'm going to put it to use on this model. Now it comes with a horn, 2 vacuum pipes and all the handrails, so I'm going to cut all these off and I'm going to do the body shell first. Now the body shell's also loose, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to run a bead of plastic weld cement along the inside of that join just to secure the body shell and cab back in place. So cutting these handrails off the sprue very carefully. These should be just a push fit into the holes that are already present on the Bachmann body shell. I think this model actually goes back to mainline maybe, so the body tooling is quite old. But being DCC fitted, most of the work for the split chassis has already been done. Now using a pair of tweezers, the handrails do indeed push into the holes, and they are a very good tight friction fit, so I don't use any adhesive on these at all. They are just a friction fit into the factory made holes, and they're not going anywhere. They're in there very tight. But you have to work very carefully because you don't want to snap any of the lugs off. So working my way around the model, I fit the vacuum pipes. I super glue the horn in place because that hole was very loose. But the handrails are all fitted. And I like this. Considering its age, there's a lot of detail cast into this body shell. It's even got sprung buffers. So now let's start and try and rebuild and refurbish this chassis. So I'm going to do a little bit of disassembly by removing the worm gear, or the idler gear should I say, and I'm going to clean up the chassis with a cotton bud and some contact cleaner to remove any of the old lubrication. Like I said, this model has been in my possession at least 6 years in this state of disassembly, and who knows how long it was disassembled before I got it. So I'm going to thoroughly clean and overhaul everything. These cutouts where the axles go are quite dirty, and these must be kept clean. Anybody that knows about split chassis will know that the axles transfer power through those axle holes, so they must be kept clean, otherwise you'll have intermittent and very poor running. Small amount of grease on the gear spindle, and the idler gear is back in place. The motor is in good order and we know it works, so that's put back in, and that's a tight fit with that insulation tape. Again, another little bit of grease on there, white PTFE grease. And now I'm going to put the chassis separators in, starting with the 2 white ones that keep the chassis apart, and also the base plate screws too. And then these black separators are pushed in from underneath, and there is a square peg at the end which fits in the square hole die cast in the chassis, so to make sure they push all the way through. And then there should be 3 plastic washers that sit over these. Now I only had 2, I was missing one. And at the time when I was doing this, I couldn't find my tub of plastic screws and washers, so I actually made one from an old lemur coupling, which I'll show you in a second. I do also clean the other half of the chassis, get all the grease and muck off that, as we did before with this half. And yeah, an old lemur coupling cut down, and the hole fits over the peg. And the plastic was the same thickness as the original washers, so I'm just going to use that to keep the chassis halves separate. Then the 2 halves are mated together, making sure that those dividers fit through the holes in the die-cast chassis. And then I'm going to screw the 2 halves together. Now it was one of these screws that I was missing, one of the screws that holds the chassis. So I got my screw tub and I had a dig around in here. Now there must be 200 or 300 screws in here, and I was very lucky because almost immediately I found what I was looking for. I just dug around in a couple of these screws and I saw a domed headed small screw, and I thought, oh, that looks what I need, and it is exactly what I need. So that saved a bit of time. Now the 2 chassis halves are together. Before you I missed a step. What you should do when it's DCC fitted, and what I do is I put the pickup wire and wrap it around the chassis separators to form a loop. And then when the chassis separators are put in and screwed, it holds the pickup wires to each side of the chassis. And this method does provide reliable pickup on split chassis models that are DCC fitted. So the red wire is put around the plastic insulating piece, and the black wire is put around the retaining screw. And all I do is solder the wire into a loop, as you can see there, and then screw the 2 halves together. Now the previous owner had actually ground a groove in each side of the chassis for the wires to sit, which is helpful. And I put this small TCS decoder in place with a small spot of blue tack. So now the chassis has been rebuilt, I'm going to turn my attention to the wheels, and these will need a clean. There is quite a bit of old gunk around the middle axle where the gear is. So using a cotton bud and some meths, I clean all the axles. And on a split chassis model, it is very important to clean these axle stubs that fit on the inner here, the inner bit of the wheel, because that is what transfers power from the track to the chassis halves. They sit in the die casting and transfer power over. So once all the wheels are cleaned, I'm going to put them back in the model. Now these will only go in one way because of the jack shafts and the gear. So once they're in place, I get the 2 tiny flat-headed screws, and I'm going to screw the jack shafts back in place. Very lucky really that these 2 screws hadn't been lost, because I do not have any spares of these. They would have been quite difficult to find as spares, I think. And then just gently turning that screw. Now what I did here, I did make a mistake here, and I tightened the screw up too much. Now I did think the jack shaft was loose, but as you'll see in a minute, it was too tight. Now I often use on split chassis models Pico Electrolube. This is a conductive oil-like substance. Now this bottle, I thought had some left in here, but it's actually empty. So I've had this bottle 2 or 3 years. It does last quite a long time. It's quite expensive, but it does last. So I have a route round in the bottom of my toolbox, so I'm pretty certain I've got a brand new bottle. And indeed I have. And as I was saying, this oil-like substance is conductive, so it will help lubricate the axles and also provide a good means of electrical conductivity between the wheels, axles and the chassis. So once that's done, I'm going to fit the base keeper plate. Now you'll know on split chassis models if the 2 halves are together correctly, because if they're not, the chassis base plate won't go on properly. But here you can see it clips on very nicely. And utilising 2 of the 4 remaining screws, we screw it back into position. Now one thing I will say about split chassis models is the importance of not over tightening the screws. They're metal screws in plastic parts, and if you over tighten them or cross thread them, you can end up stripping the parts out. so that the screws won't hold anymore, and then you're on the lookout for yet more spares. So once the base plate was in place, I'm going to put it on the track and give it a test with the battery. Now the model is trying to move, as you saw if you saw the wheels there, but it won't move more than not even a quarter of a turn, and that is because, as I mentioned, I tightened the jack shafts up far too much, especially on this side. So just giving it a quarter of a turn, just backing it off a quarter of a turn, and now the chassis runs lovely. And as I said, I can test this on DC. I've had a lot of experience with TCS decoders, and I know that TCS decoders support DC running. And they're just feeling the decoder there. It's not warm or anything, so that's very good news. So the chassis now clips back into the body shell. It was a bit of a tight fit, but once it was in and minding the sandpipe detail, the chassis just gently drops into place with the DCC decoder hidden on the cab floor. And then I'm going to use the 2 remaining screws and these Bachmann, or I think actually they might be Hornby couplings that have been cut down. But the screw passes through them, and then we attach the couplings to the front and rear of the Class 04, and that is that. That is rebuilt. Now, over 4 years I've had this sat there in a disassembled state, and I came across it the other day and I thought, I've already got a green 03 on the garden railway, so let's see if we can restore this one to run outside on the garden. And here under DC, it runs absolutely beautifully. It is such a nice little model, and like I said earlier, for its age, the body tooling, there's quite a lot of detail in this, and I think it looks really nice. And as you've just seen, for a split chassis model, it runs really, really well. The models of these with more complex liveries, like the BR Blue with the wasp stripes, look even better. But this really does look handsome in its all over green with red buffer beams. It looks pretty much X-Works, just as it should for working on a preserved steam railway in the late 80s and early 90s. And I'm just so pleased with how this runs. I've done a lot of split chassis models, and some of them run, well, they're like a bag of spanners, but this one, I mean, the slow speed control on this is absolutely fantastic. If you've got a model that needs repair, repainting, DCC fitting, or you'd like to make a donation to the channel, please email me at dansmodelrailways@gmail.com, and I'll be in touch with you, and we'll have a look again at anything you want sent over. And who knows, it may even feature in an episode all of its own. So I'll leave you now with some shots of the 04 running around the layout with a short rake of coal wagons. The only thing I would change about the 04 is I would change the decoder to one that I could fit a stay alive to, because it does run really well on DCC, but there are a couple of things like a double slip and that where it does stall a little bit. So stay alive capacitor on this model would be a big benefit. So I'm going to look at doing that in the future. But thanks for watching Trash to Track again. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye for now. Can't see.